Hey YouTubers, Muskrat Jim here, and today we're going to cook up some chicken and dumplings. Stay tuned. Since we have a fire ban in the province, we're going to have to use a propane stove. So, I brought along the propane stove and a nice pot. So let's get started. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is put a little bit of oil in the pan so that we can brown our chicken. Now I've pre-cut this chicken at home, and I cut it into small pieces so it'll be quicker to cook. Turning it down a little bit. I'm going to add a little bit of flour. Now this is the flour mixture that we're going to be using for the dumplings. It's got flour, baking powder, a bit of salt, and some parsley. We're just going to brown that before we add the other ingredients. Actually, I'm going to throw the onions and celery in right now. Celery. Onion. Now when I'm at home and I'm making chicken and dumplings, I usually make it in a great big sauce pot, something about 6 to 8 liters or 6 to 8 quarts. But out here, I'm by myself, so I'm not going to eat that much. Okay, so that's been browning for a while. I'm going to add some water. Right now I'm just adding enough water to cover what's in the pot. As it cooks and the water evaporates, I'll add more water. Now, I also diced up some potatoes and I packed them in water just so then they wouldn't go, off color. So I'm just going to add them and the water right in there. Now I'm stirring it and I'm scraping up all the bits of flour that were, and chicken really, that were stuck on the bottom of the pot. All those little bits are full of flavor and nutrients. We're going to get them into the broth. The mosquitoes are starting to get bad now. I don't know if this thing's working or not. Oh well. I'm just going to cover that and let it come to a boil, and then I'll add more ingredients. Okay, so that's boiling now. Okay, so to add some color, I'm going to add some frozen peas and carrots. And I brought along some spices as well. So here I have poultry seasoning. Let's dump that in. Some summer savory. Some salt and some pepper. Well, it's smelling good now. We have to cook this long enough so that the vegetables will all cook. So that was raw potatoes and raw onions. So we let that boil for a while. And then we'll make the dumplings. My mosquito repellent just took a hike. I'll have to light it up again. Here, I'll leave it on the ground, that way it won't fall over. Sure smells good now. Just turning it down somewhat, and we'll get the dumplings made up. Okay, now in order to make the dumplings, I'm just going to add water to this bag and then mix it around somewhat, and then use the spoon and dump it into the hot broth. Then we'll cover the pan and let it sit for about 15 minutes or so while I make a cup of tea. We'll try not to spill it. Zip the bag shut, and then we'll mix this around. Looks like I may have added too much water. Yeah, I definitely added too much water. So all this is going to do is completely dissolve in there and make a really thick broth. Well, that's a little disappointing. I was looking forward to some dumplings. Oh well. This has the consistency of pancake batter, which isn't what I was aiming for. I'm going to try putting a couple of blobs of this stuff in here and we'll see what happens to it. Yeah, that should be enough. Okay, the propane stove went out, so I'm going to cover that up. Take this off the heat, and we'll turn the propane back on. Just want to heat this up a little bit more. Maybe give that a chance to solidify. Okay, take that off. Let that sit for a bit and boil some water for tea. I need more water. I don't have any more water. Now, nearly every culture has their own version of chicken and dumplings. Me, I'm mostly Acadian. My bowl just fell over, but it's empty, that's fine. I'm mostly Acadian, and the Acadians came from France. And what we call ours is Poulet Fricot. Poulet is chicken, and Fricot means a thick, hearty soup. Now, because all of our fricots are chicken, we typically just shorten it up and say Fricot. And everybody just assumes that it's chicken Fricot, or Poulet Fricot. There's just something heartwarming about the taste of chicken done with herbs and vegetables and a piece of dough. Just, it's a wonderful flavor. So I'm going to open that pot now, and we'll see whether the dumplings congealed at all. I highly doubt it. So what I'll probably end up doing is just stirring it up so that it just breaks up and then forms little dots of dough in the stew, in the Fricot. Well, actually it did kind of solidify there. Oh yeah. It's thin, but it worked. Yeah, I'll serve some of this up. This table isn't very big, is it? Get a chunk of dumpling there. Some vegetables. Some chicken. Some of that broth in there too. It's nothing quite like chicken broth. I knew I packed a spoon. So there we go. Some nice chicken and dumplings. Oh yeah, that's great. Just like a hug from your mother, that's what that is. Anyway, I'm going to let this cool off just a little bit, otherwise I'm going to burn my face off. And I just want to thank you all for coming by, and we'll see you in the next video. This is Muskrat Jim, signing out. For more muskrat survival videos, be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Oh, hey there, YouTubers. Muskrat Jim here. And today, we're going to cook up. What are we going to cook up? Today we're going to cook up some chicken in... What the hell am I talking about? In most cases, the poulet part, which is chicken, is assumed. So they just call it fricot. There's a mosquito right on my lens there. There. That took care of him.